2003. 2004. 2005. 2006. 2007. 2008. Senator David Umo.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is David Umaru. I represent Niger East Senatorial District. I rise to move the motion that this distinguished Senate approve the vote and proceedings of Wednesday, 24th May 2017. I hereby move.
Senator Fashi.
Andrew Fashi, representing the North Senatorial District. I second that the vote and proceeding of Wednesday, 24 May 2017 be approved as moved by Senator Umaru.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 24th May 2017 hereby approved, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 24th May 2017 is hereby approved. Letter from the Acting President. Request for inclusion of Development Bank of Nigeria and funding for agricultural finance in Nigeria into the 2016-2018 external borrowing plans as addendum. Dear Senate President, I write in reference to my earlier letter requesting for the consideration and approval of the Senate for the 2016-2018 external borrowing rolling plan, and to forward with two more important on the listed items for inclusion into the said borrowing plan as addendum. A. Development Bank of Nigeria DBN. B. Fund for Agricultural Finance in Nigeria, FAFIN 2. Mr. Senate President may wish to know that the Development Bank of Nigeria DBN is a multi-donor supported bank approved under the previous administration with the financing arrangement executed on the 25th of February 2015. However, the facility in the sum of $1.28 billion appeared to be inadvertently omitted in the 2014-2016 external borrowing plan approved by National Assembly. The bank is being supported by the World Bank Group, African Development Bank, KfW Development of Germany, and French development agencies in the sums of 500 million, 450 million, 200 million, and 130 million respectively. The bank is ready to commence operation, and the donors are also ready to commence disbursement consequent upon National Assembly approval of the borrowing. Furthermore, Fund for Agricultural Finance in Nigeria FAFIN 2 is being supported by KfW Development Bank of Germany in the sum of 9 million euro. The first phase of FAFIN 1 was in the 10.5 million euro, and the financing agreement was executed on the 3rd of October 2013. It is an investment facility in agricultural financing. The first tranche of FAFIN 1 has been fully disbursed, and the donor is ready to provide another tranche of 9 million euros for FAFIN 2. The second tranche is for the consolidation of the gains in investment of the first tranche. In view of the importance attached to these two projects by administration, it has become imperative to seek your usual understanding and kind consideration for the inclusion of DBN and FAFIN 2 into the 2016-2018 External Borrowing Plan as addendum. Mr. Senate President, please accept the assurances of highest regards always. Professor Yomi Oshibanjo, Acting President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wish to acknowledge the presence of staff and students of Sunrise International School, Asokoro, Abuja, staff and students of King's School, Durumi, Abuja, staff and students of Fort Royal Academy Airport Road, Abuja, who are in the gallery to observe our proceedings. I wish them a fruitful observations of the Senate proceedings. Please sit down. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first business of the day is the presentation of the report.
The point of order. Point of order.
Point of order, Senator Sabu.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Sabu Mohammed Nakudu. I represent Jigawa Southwest. I would like to come under Order 42.
Go ahead, read.
Order 42, page 32. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before the commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Mr. President, I would like to seek the indulgence of the President of the Senate to bring this issue on the next legislative day. The issue concerns the planned concession of Port Refinery by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. This is the same facility that NMPC claimed to have spent $100 million recently. But somewhere, somehow, a deal was conceived and hatched in the dark without even the knowledge of the relevant government agencies and other stakeholders in the industry. For all intent and purposes, Mr. President, it's clearly fraudulent and a clear attempt at ridiculing Nigerians, and definitely will create a very big hole that will be hard to fill in the anti-corruption crusade of the Buhari administration. It is in this light, Mr. President, I'm seeking permission of Mr. President and the Senate to bring this issue on the next legislative day. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, according to our rule, Senator Sabo did mention this matter that concerns likelihood of corruption or non-transparent transaction. I said, okay, you should bring it for debate, but according to our rule, I seek the leave of our colleagues so that we can come in the next legislative day. Those in favor that we take this in the next legislative say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate. Distinguished colleagues, according to our votes and proceedings, which we've just approved and passed, we have suspended those petitions until ethics and privileges conclude this backlog that they have before them. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, very distinguished respected colleagues, the first business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Witness Protection Program Bill 2017. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator David Umaru, Chairman of the Committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator David Umaru.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is David Umaru. I represent Niger East Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Witness Protection Program Establishment, ETC Bill 2017, SB 157. I so move.
Senator Geshem Bassi, Cross River South.
Thank you, Mr. President. Cross River South. I rise to second the motion as moved by David Umaru.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that we do receive the report on the Committee of Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Witness Protection Program, Establishment, etc., Bill 2017, SB 157, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator David Umaru, come and lay this report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on INEC on the screening of resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission. Mr. President, you may wish to invite very distinguished Senator Suleiman Nazif, Chairman of the Committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Suleiman Nazif.
Thank you, Mr. President. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Senator Suleiman Nazif, and I represent Bauchi North. I move that the Senate do receive the report on the Committee on INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the screening of the nominee for appointment as resident electoral commissioners to be laid. I so move.
Senator Mohammed Hassan, Yobe South.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mohammed Hassan, Yobe South. I rise to second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee of Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the screening of nominees for appointment as resident electoral commissioners. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the screening of nominees for appointment as resident electoral commissioners. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Nazif, come and lay the report.
Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is a motion standing in the name of Senator Binta Masi Garba and 8 others on the 2017 Children's Day celebration. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Binta Masi Garba to move the motion. I was told that the Deputy Minority Whip will present the motion in place of Senator Masi Garba.
Acting Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome back. Mr. President, it will be the 27th of May, and it will be the Children's Day. This is the last legislative day before that day, so we decided to bring up a motion celebrating children on the event of the 2017 Children's Day celebration. The Senate notes that 27th of May each year is observed as the Children's Day in Nigeria. Senate recognizes the significant role of the Nigerian child in the nation's development and the need to lay a good foundation and secure their future through the domestication and implementation of the Child Rights Act 2003 in every state of the Federation. The Senate appreciates the children of Nigeria through the passage of legislations in all the states of the Federation, such as the Child Rights Act 2003, which defines a new child protective system and allow opportunities for the participation of children in matters that concern their rights and welfare, which had been adopted and is being implemented in 23 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, and the Universal Basic Education Act of 2004, which makes the education of the Nigerian child free, compulsory, and enforceable right, with penalties for parents and guardians who fail or neglect this obligation. The Senate acknowledges that a proper system of education and good health care are indispensable in making the Nigerian child relevant in the global scheme of things. Worried that the infant mortality rate in Nigeria has risen to 1 million deaths per annum as a result of poor nutrition and inadequate medical facilities. Being aware that under the National Health Act 2014, all pregnant women, the elderly, the disabled, and children are to be exempted from paying for services in public hospitals. The Senate is also concerned that this is not obtainable in practice, as children and pregnant women still pay for medical services in public hospitals, contrary to the provisions of the National Health Act of 2014. The Senate is further concerned that over 70% of the people in the internally displaced persons IDP camps are women and children who have been rendered orphans and widows. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to congratulate the Nigerian child on the celebration of the 2017 Children's Day. Felicitate with the federal government and the families of the 82+1 Chibok girls that were recently released. Urge the federal government to ensure the rehabilitation of the girls through the provision of adequate welfare, education, health services, while intensifying efforts to rescue the remaining girls. And mandate the Committee on Women Affairs to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development to domesticate the Child Rights Act in the 13 remaining states that are yet to enact same. Mr. President, this is to congratulate the children, once again, the children of Nigeria, and I so move. Thank you, Mr. President.
Leader, sense.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, let me congratulate very distinguished Senator Binta Masi Garba and those 8 of our colleagues who are sponsors of this motion. And I also join the very distinguished Deputy Minority Whip in congratulating Nigeria's children for the celebration day, which is going to be 27. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the sign of the future of any nation can easily be seen on the way that nation treats its children. And in fact, that determines and defines the future of that nation. Order. Mr. President, order. Very distinguished colleagues, the children of Nigeria, and indeed the world, deserve every support for them to grow, for them to actualize their dreams when they come of age. But that requires setting a foundation. And the foundation is right from the family. We need to have families that care and cater for the children. And of course, the society at large and governments across all levels. Mr. President, the Nigeria's Constitution, in Section 17, subsection 3F, provides for the protection of our children from any unnecessary hardship, protection from moral and material exploitation. And what we have today is a challenge to all of us. We have many of our children in the streets. These are kids who are of school age and school going. But because we have not been able to prepare adequately for such children, they are roaming the streets. Today, we have between 14 to 17 million of school-age children who are roaming the streets in Nigeria. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the UBE Act of 2004 provides for compulsory and mandatory education. But while there is an act, we also have the confusion that some of our states are not able to utilize the funds that are in UBEC for them to access. I will take this opportunity to urge UBEC, the Universal Basic Education Commission, to work in tandem with the states for them to access the billions of naira that is in the coffers of UBEC waiting to be utilized for providing education for our children. With this, Mr. President, I want to once more congratulate our children. 27th of this month is their day, and indeed a day for all of us. Thank you very much.
Deputy Senate President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. I join the rest of our colleagues and all of us in congratulating our children on a day such as this, as we approach 27th of May 2017, which is the Children's Day. It is with a heart full of gratitude that I express my support to the movers of this motion and join the rest
congratulating our children. In saying this, Mr. President, I must emphasize that our children are actually our major resource and our greatest resource. In Europe and America, we have aging population. But in Africa, especially in Nigeria, the bulk of our population belongs to the young people, the children. And that is why I believe that that's our greatest resource. Because these are the people who do exploits in football and other sports. There are people who hook on to technology and other forms of communication. I believe that these are the people who will determine our tomorrow, and if there are wars, there are people who will fight the wars. So we have a lot to thank God for our children. I believe that as a society, we owe them a lot as well. Section 17 of the Constitution, which the Senate leader has earlier cited, talks about the protection of our children from exploitation. We must ensure that our children are not exploited, because today they're exploited in all kinds of places, in our homes, in the farms, in different places, and this has to stop. And Section 18 goes ahead to say that we owe them responsibility to provide free education to our children. We must live up to those expectations. We must also ensure that we give them adequate health facilities, and they should have access to those health facilities so that they're able to grow old and perform the responsibilities we expect of them. As it is today, our health services have not been fair to our children, so we need to do something about it so that they do not die young. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, our children, I believe, as I said, are our resources and they are our future, and we need to protect them. So on this note, I would like to join the rest in congratulating our children and wish them a very happy and fruitful celebration on 27th of May 2017. May God bless our children.
Amen.
Senator Gemade.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues, I rise to lend my voice of support to this very important motion on a day leading to a day earmarked for our children of the entire universe. Today, as we attempt to pay tribute to our children in Nigeria, we must ask ourselves, is there really anything to celebrate about our children? The question here is that we live in a country which does not recognize the fact that children need a lot more care than what parents are able to provide, especially in the areas of ensuring that they really grow up with the right frame of mind and the right education and development to become truly leaders of tomorrow. All the ills that exist in our society today are freely being imbibed by these children because of the careless nature in which we are running our society. Every part of this country has got one ill or the other that is affecting children. In rural farming areas like my own state, many parents believe that children must do labor work in the farms. And they sometimes give them responsibilities that are far beyond their capacity. It deprives them from going to school. Sometimes they go to school, come back, and they have no time to do any of those assignments because they must go to the farm. In some parts of Nigeria, their families are forcing children to go out and sell in the street, to hawk all kinds of things in order to bring income for the family. And yet in some areas, cultural developments like Amajiri are sending children for training which could have been given in a better atmosphere, more organized, and in fact, more controlled. So as we celebrate our children today, we adults must think about ways in which we can curtail these ills in our society to ensure that we develop a crop of children that can truly become leaders of tomorrow. If you go to other developed nations in the world, you see the amount of time that parents spend in training and developing their children, carrying them to school, carrying them to sports development, carrying them to entertainment areas, and so on. Here, so many people are not even aware of what their children do in the course of 12 hours of the day. It is my hope and privilege to encourage the Senate to pass this motion in order that our society can pay better attention to our children. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute. Thank you.
Senator Dingamelai.
Mr. President, my very distinguished, respected colleagues, Dino Melai, Kogi West. Mr. President, I join all the parents who spoke earlier in appreciating the Nigerian child. The Holy Book said, bring up a child in the way of the Lord, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. The reason why we have a society today that is bedeviled with drugs, bedeviled with early marriages that result in BBF, that result in low level of girl-child education, that have been responsible for some state not domesticating the Child Rights Act, is because the family value have completely collapsed. Today, child abuse at various levels all over the country. Child labor is becoming more prevalent. No moral philosophy, no civic education, and we are not indoctrinating the Nigerian child the spirit of nationalism. We have become more ethnic conscious than we were ever in the history of this country. The challenge this morning is to call on the Nigerian parents to indoctrinate and imbibe in the Nigerian child ethical values that will promote patriotism, nationalism, civic education, and moral philosophy. Mr. President, when I was growing up as a child, even in the GRAs, houses had no fences. But because of decay in moral value and the collapse in family, we started building houses with fences. Situation got deteriorated. We started using broken bottles as barriers on our fences. It further deteriorated. We started using barbed wire. Today, it is electric fence. From beware of dogs, many of you who are bourgeois here now have beware of lion, beware of crocodile, and beware of snakes. This is as a result of decay in moral value. Our kids now understand the use of drugs. It is pathetic that we in the North even suffer more. Today, our kids know about Benelin and codeine. They know about the intake of solution. They are high 24 hours because of decay in moral value. This day calls for sober reflection than excitement. That each family must go back to our fundamental family values and begin to train and retrain our children through the instrumentality of tenets and doctrine of the Holy Books, so that we can have a more moral society. Mr. President, we must build value in our children. We must build capacity in our kids. And they cannot get this from classroom education. They can only get this from indoctrination by parents who must live an exemplary lifestyle that these kids will want to follow. I congratulate the Nigerian children, and I challenge the parents, all parents in this country, to redirect the family values. Thank you.
Senator Abdullah.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am Senator Abdullah Adamu, and I represent Nasarawa West Senatorial Zone. Mr. President, I want to commend the sponsors of this motion, and I rise to support it and to add a few words on what my very dear colleagues have already, put forward. I want to congratulate us as a nation. In fact, I want to congratulate the entire Universal family on this very important day of the 27th of this month. It has been tagged by the United Nations as the Children's Day. As a father, I cannot but reflect on what I see as the upbringing that our children are now having. The failure which we all complain about today about moral decadence in our children, the fault, in my view, lays squarely on our generation of parents. Mr. President, I lay the blame on our doors or doorsteps because when I reflect on what family values were, when I reflect on the responsibilities of parents towards the upbringing of us then as children, and what now happens, we have bargained for failure of our children. Abidisho. I say so because when I was growing up as a kid, when I was going to primary school, the families I know, my family, the families in our neighborhood, the families in our town, no parent, just by way of example, Mr. President, no parent goes to bed without assuring that his son or daughter, sons or daughters are home before the house is locked for that day. You wake up in the morning, Mr. President, you are taught to go and say good morning to your father. You see your mother going to say good morning to her husband. And through that, if there's a baby that is not yet weaned and is in the arms of the mother, she goes with that baby to the father in the morning, good morning, husband, whatever. These were simple events, family activities that were taking place, but they mean so much. The son grows, the daughter grows to know that she has or he has a father as a head of a family. And all the trouble of this world today starts from the family. It's the smallest unit of society. If there's failure there is failure within the neighborhood, there is failure in the world, the local government, the state, and ditto, the nation. Over and above that, the father ensures that his children and his familyhood had breakfast. They go to school once in a while, he spares time to go to the school, to the primary school. As a father,
to see if his son is there. How is he doing? Talk to the teachers. Today, most parents want to go to school. They now go to fight the teachers for probably assaulting their children in their interpretation. Raise a child as a teacher. In the days past, when any such extreme thing happened to a child, the father goes farther to find out what happened, and he will even come and scold his son or daughter again at home. That has vanished. Now, even the curriculum for education, there's what we call straight to English. When I was going to school, Mr. President, I learned who are you, myself, your family, your town. How did it start? Who started it? At primary level, what is the economic activity of your town, or your people? What are the important geographical features in your town? All that has vanished. Now, you have straight for English. You are taught about Liverpool. You are taught about Chicago, about Ottawa, about Paris, the beauty of Paris and the rest of it. You don't even know your village. You don't know the value that made your family what they are, because there is failure. And this failure should not be blamed on the children. You see your son or daughter going out with friends of questionable character. You let it happen. He or she didn't sleep in the house. He or she didn't have breakfast with you. That happens for a day, 2, 3. The next time, Mr. President, you have been invited to go and bail your child or daughter, your child in the charge office. Or you go and see being exhibited as a member of armed robbers shot by the police on the highways. This is what I understand as a responsibility that is now, we are now failing. And unless we rise up to our responsibilities in this regard, this situation can only get worse. May God forbid. I take the opportunity once again to congratulate our children and to give the assurance that we will have to stand up. The better tomorrow that we are professing every now and again can be assured. Thank you for the opportunity to contribute.
Distinguished colleagues, I think we just go to the prayers. Prayer 1, congratulate the Nigerian child on the celebration of the 2017 Children's Day. Those in favor of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Prayer 2, felicitate to the federal government and the families of the 82 plus 1 Chibok girls that were recently released. Those in favor of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, urge the government to ensure the protection of the girls through the provision of adequate welfare, education, and health services while intensifying efforts to rescue the remaining girls. Those in favor of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4, mandate the Committee on Women Affairs to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development to domesticate the Child Rights Act in the 13 states that are yet to enact them. Those in favor of prayer 4 say aye. Those against say nay. There's an additional prayer. Senator Gemade.
Thank you, Mr. President. My additional prayer is that we urge the governments at all levels to urgently address the social issues bedeviling the good social development of our children, and that is child labor, street hawking, courtesan, etc.
Can you repeat that please slowly? So I can take it.
Urge the governments at all levels to urgently address the social ills bedeviling the good social development of our children. That is child labor, street hawking, courtesan, etc.
Autism and what? Or culture? Seconder? Yes, Santalero.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Mohammed Adam Alero is my name. I represent Kebbi Central. I rise to support the additional prayer proposed by my distinguished colleague, Senator Gamadi. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the additional prayer, we urge government at all levels to urgently address the social ills devouring our children, that is child labor, street walking, cultism. Those in favor of this additional prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, let me join others to thank the mover of this motion and the co-sponsors and all those who have contributed for this important debate. We congratulate all the Nigerian child on the celebration of the 2017 Children's Day. As we've all said, there's no gainsaying that the children are the future and the hope of this country, and all our efforts to build a country that is vibrant will depend on how we protect the welfare of our children. So I want to enjoin all legislators, executive, Nigerian families, and all Nigerians in wishing the Nigerian child a happy Children's Day as we continue our innovative push for a safer, greater, and healthier environment to harness the potential of our children. On our part, in the Senate, we will continue to play a role. I know today a number of us will be having an interactive session with stakeholders, including children, and also speakers of some of the state assemblies that have not domesticated the Child Rights Act. We hope we can play our role to ensure that we can improve, and this year see that all our 36 states, at the moment we're at 24, we just got 12 states left that can domesticate the act. But beyond that, I think it's the oversight to see that after these acts have been domesticated, to see that they're implemented. And I want to appeal to all members in our oversight to see what we can do to ensure this in order to provide a great future for our children. Once again, congratulations to the Nigerian child. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the Conference Committee report on the secured transactions in movable assets bill 2017. Distinguished senators will recall that the Senate and the House passed different versions of the secured transactions in movable assets bill 2017. Mr. President, the Conference Committee of both houses have met and harmonized the differences in accordance with the Senate Standing Order 87. Mr. President, you may wish to invite distinguished Senator Rafiu Adebayo to move the motion for the Senate to receive and consider the conference report. Senator Rafiu Adebayo will be represented here by the Vice Chairman of the committee, distinguished Senator Sam Anyao.
Senator Sam Anyao.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Sam Anyao. I represent Imo East in Imo State. With the leave of Mr. President and the Senate, I move that the Senate do receive and consider this report of the Conference Committee on the Secure Transactions in Movable Assets Bill 2017 SB 261. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Barajibin.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Baroja Brain. I rise to second the motion as moved by the Chairman, Ethics and Privilege Committee. I say second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive and consider a report of the Conference Committee on the Secure Transactions in Movable Assets Bill 2017 SB 261. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Samayo will present the report. Present later. Okay, can present the report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. Once again, my name is Senator Sam Anyao. I represent Imo East in Imo State. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, pursuant to the passage of a bill for an act to provide for the secure transactions
registration and regulation of security interests in movable assets and for related matters 2017 by both the Senate and the House of Representatives, and there being differences in the approval granted, a conference committee met for the purpose of reconciling the differences which were in the areas of offenses and penalties, clause 58, and criminal jurisdiction, clause 59. We have the membership of the Senate and membership of the House of Reps. Item number 30, meeting. The conference committee met on Wednesday, 24th May 2017, and unanimous decisions were reached without resort to voting or division on all issues. Summary of the harmonized approvals. 1. Clause 58, House version was adopted. Clause 59, the Senate version was adopted. Conclusion. Having harmonized the two approvals, the conference committee unanimously adopted the harmonized version. So, Mr. President, colleagues, well, I think you have to. That's all. Well, thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleague, I think this is pretty straightforward. So I'll just put the question. Those in favor that the Senate do approve the Conference Committee report on secure transaction in movable assets bill 2017, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Petroleum Upstream, Petroleum Downstream and Gas on the Petroleum Industry and Governance Bill 2017. Distinguished senators will recall that the report of the committee was laid on Thursday, 6 April 2017. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Omotayo Olashedura, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Olashedura.
My name is Senator Tayo Olashedura. Mr. President, sir, distinguished colleagues, report of the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, PIGB 2017, SB 2.237. The Senate at its sitting...
Chairman, move the motion first to consider the report.
The Senate President, sir, distinguished colleagues, I wish to move that the report of the Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Downstream, and Gas be taken at this meeting. I so move, sir.
Senator Bassi, Cross River South.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bassi, Cross River South. I rise to second the motion that the Senate do consider the report of the committees on petroleum upstream, petroleum downstream, and gas on the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill 2017. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do consider the report of the committees on petroleum upstream, petroleum downstream, and gas on the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill 2017, SB 237. Those in favor say aye. The report, thank you.
The President of the Senate, sir, distinguished colleagues, the Senate at its sitting on Wednesday, 2nd November 2016, debated on the general principles of the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill 2017, and the bill was read the second time and referred to the committees on petroleum resources upstream, downstream petroleum sector, and gas, via a letter of referral dated 3rd November 2016 with reference number NASS/85/R/03/Volume 1/373 for further legislative action. The report of the Joint Committee on the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill was laid on Thursday, 6 April 2017. The membership of the committee is as stated on that page up to page 2, and the Secretariat is also stated on page 2. Objectives of the bill. The bill will seek for a total reformation of the oil and gas sector was formulated based on the following objectives amongst others: to create efficient and effective governing institutions with clear and separate roles for the petroleum industry, to establish a framework for the creation of commercially oriented and profit-driven petroleum entities that ensures value addition and internationalization of the petroleum industry, promote transparency and accountability in the administration of the petroleum resources of Nigeria, and 4, to foster a conducive business environment for petroleum industry operations. The methodology adopted is as follows. The committee had several meetings and adopted a plan of action as a guide to achieve its mandate as follows. Request for submission of memoranda by stakeholders and the general public. Hiring of consultancy services with series of briefing by the consultants. Conduct a 3-day public hearing. Study visit to other oil and gas producing countries. Collation of report from the outcome of the public hearing and submissions made. Retreats for clause-by-clause consideration of the bill by the Joint Committee. Consideration of the report by the Joint Committee. Production and adoption of the final report and laying of the Joint Committee report on the bill. Public hearing. The committee held a well-attended 3-day public hearing from Wednesday, 11th to Friday, 13th January 2017. Major stakeholders and the general public made presentations. Critical stakeholders at the public hearing included the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Group Managing Director, NNPC, Director DPR, Group General Manager NAPIMS, Chairman Nupeng Pengasan, Director General BPE, Executive Director Space for Change, Chairman Oil Producers Trade Section, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, OANDO, Association for Good Corporate Governance in Nigeria, Director, African Center for Leadership, Alex Legal Practitioners and Arbitrators, Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, Social Development Integrated Center, Host Communities of Nigeria Producing Oil and Gas, Patchstone and Greece, Nigeria, then Chairman, Pan-African Niger Delta. In summary, the committee received 20 oral presentations and 25 written memoranda. The committee collated and considered all presentations. All the submissions received were in support of the bill, though with varying areas of particular interest in the content of the bill. Retreat. The Joint Committee held a retreat at Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, from Thursday 23rd to Sunday 26th February 2017, and another on 4th April 2017 in Abuja to further consider the bill. Observations and findings. The committee observed from submissions made to it that the laws governing the petroleum industry in the country have become so obsolete, and as such, a disincentive to investment in the oil and gas industry, and needed a drastic overhauling, transformation, and reformation. 2, this situation has brought about a lack of investments in this industry, and consequently the reserves in the industry are not being grown. The Mexican experience has shown that a well-reasoned and crafted oil and gas reform law could attract as much as $60 billion additional investment in the industry in 3 years. Recommendations. The Joint Committee, after exhaustive deliberation, recommends as follows. 1, that there is need for accelerated consideration and passage of the bill into law and its immediate implementation in the sector for maximal utilization of the nation's natural resources, so as to facilitate the immediate processes of the host communities and the fiscal administration aspects of PIB. The Joint Committee made amendments and deletions to relevant sections of the bill and also made new provisions to some parts of the bill. These amendments, deletions, and insertions are contained in the attached bill template. Conclusion. The Joint Committee wishes to express its appreciation to the Senate leadership and the entire Senate for finding us worthy to serve in the making of this very important law. It is our hope that the bill, when passed into law, will bring the desired result and good intent of the Senate to quickly address the present recession facing our dear nation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Comments. Yes, Senator Samayan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Sam Wanyanwu. I represent Imo East Imo State. Mr. President, I think that today is going to be one of the most happiest days of this Senate and this country if we finally pass this bill. The committee have actually done a good job, which of course I'm proud, because in Igbo land there's an adage that if a lizard falls down from a iroko tree and look around, nobody says you've done well, he will tell himself that I've done well. I think the committee have done so well for this bill, Mr. President. But I want to quickly remind the chairman of the committee that we omitted NIT, who are also part of the stakeholders that were invited. It was an omission of NIT in this, so it's important that it should be included, that NIT, they were very present, and thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, Basi Akpan.
Thank you, Mr. President. My distinguished and respected colleagues, Mr. President, I wish to express my profound gratitude to your able leadership and the leadership of the Senate and our distinguished colleagues for the support and their commitment towards the repositioning of the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. Mr. President, like the chairman upstream has stated in his report about the Mexican experience, that it was through the rewriting of a carefully crafted oil and gas law that attracted an investment of over $60 billion into Mexico. Mr. President, Nigeria as a country is at the forefront of the oil and gas industry in Nigeria and the world. And as a country, Mr. President, within the continent, we are being challenged by the likes of Angola, Mozambique, which are also oil-producing countries in Africa. Mr. President, it is our hope that as we consolidate the oil and gas industry in Nigeria through the passage of the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, which would further reposition our current oil and gas industry as regards the operations of NNPC and Co., it is our hope Nigeria, which has been identified and known, recognized as an investor's heaven, will further consolidate that position within the continent of Africa. I thank Mr. President, I thank the able leadership of this Senate, and I thank our distinguished and respected colleagues, able Nigerians, towards ensuring that this bill will see the light of the day. I so support Mr. President. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Senator Dinamilai.
Mr. President, my very distinguished colleagues, I want to congratulate the 8th Senate that I got this bill or proposed bill yesterday, and I have gone through it page by page, Mr. President. And I have come to the conclusion that since I got into the National Assembly in 2007, this is the least controversial PIB bill. I am particularly impressed with the quality of work done, and this wouldn't have been possible without the guidance of the leadership of the 8th Senate. So I congratulate you, Dr. Bukola Saraki, that at last we are bringing specialization, we are bringing transparency, we are bringing hope, not hope, Uzodima, hope, to the petroleum industry in this country. I would not want us to belabor this bill, because we need to pass this bill expeditiously so that we can begin to, we can begin to employ the advantages therein as soon as possible. Mr. President, we are lacking behind globally among the Committee of Oil Producers, who are yet to have a framework and structure that will teleguide the activities of the oil industry. It's a wonderful job. It shows that this Senate, we have vision, we have direction, and by the grace of God, we will bring back the long-lost reputation of this country. I congratulate us.
Deputy Senate President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, I'd like to start by welcoming you back from your trip. And to report to you that a revolution started this Senate yesterday. No. Yesterday, there's a new dimension to the packaging of bills, which Hope Uzodinma started. So I'd like to commend Alasadura, Pasi, and the Barapa for following suit. This morning, I received a well-packaged bill with my name written on it. So I'd like to thank them especially for this effort. And to call on distinguished senators that just like the one for yesterday, we should all show sufficient interest in the consideration of this bill. The petroleum industry, just like the custom, is a major revenue source for our country. So I'd like to commend them for showing special interest, not only in the consideration of this bill, but also in the production. So I'd like to see special interest from all other senators as we consider this bill. So I support the initiative that we go ahead to consider this bill.
Senator Barajibe.
Thank you, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues, I am Barrow Jibrin. I represent Kano North. Mr. President, I want to say without any iota of contradiction that this bill is the most strategically or economically strategic bill that has so far been brought to this assembly and have so far been processed by our committees. It is so important not only for the petroleum industry, but for the entire economy of this country. And I want to commend the committees involved in the processing of this bill so far for doing a good job. And I want to say that it is incumbent on us, not only us, but to everyone concerned in passing this bill, that all hands need to be on deck to make sure that this bill is passed as soon as possible. Because I think it's the panacea to the current situation we find ourselves, not for the short term or medium term, but for the long term as well. When this bill is passed, I'm sure the issue of recession will be over. It will be over because the revenue that will accrue to the government through the petroleum industry will be very much. That will clear the problems that we have now in our economy. So I think that we need to do all that we can to make sure that this bill is passed as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, I would like to call the leader to move the motion to can resolve in the committee of the whole. Consider clause by clause.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate resolves into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Mr. President, I second the motion that we resolve into committee of the whole to consider the bill. As the acting minority leader.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that resolve to the committee of the whole consider this bill clause by clause, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, we go to page 15. It's where the bill starts clause by clause. Clause 1. Clause 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Those in favor of clause 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. As page 16, clause 2. Those in favor that clause 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 3. Those in favor that clause 3, 1, and 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 3, 3 and 3, 4 on page 18. And clause 3, 5 on page 18. Those in favor that clause 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5 stands part of this say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 4. Clause 4, 1 and 2. Those in favor that clause 1 and 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 4, 3. I'm on page 19. Clause 4, 3 on page 19. Slight amendment there is use of the effective date. Those in favor that clause 4, 3, 4, 4, and 4.5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Now on page 21. Yes, information.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I believe that at this juncture we must also cite, since we are looking at the Regulatory Commission, Mr. Chairman, where should the headquarters of the Commission be? Yes, I think it should be Abuja, which is the Federal Capital Territory. I think it should be stated at this juncture, sir. Or should we still leave it in Lagos? Because I think the reason for Lagos has been overtaken by events. Now that we have an established Federal Capital Territory, Mr. President, I think it should be so reflected. That's clause 4, sir. I think we should bring it under clause 4. We should create a clause talking about location. Yes, sir. Since we are talking about the Regulatory Commission, yes, where should the headquarters be? Yes.
So for the 4.6, the headquarters of the Commission shall be located in Abuja. Somebody second that, please. Yes, Senator Marafa.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. Senator Marafa, representing the Zamfara Central. I second that the headquarters of the Commission be cited at the Federal Capital Territory in accordance with what is obtained in other bills. I so move.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that clause 4.6 new, clause 4.6 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5. Clause 5A to G. Clause 5A to G. Those in favor of clause 5A to G say to stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5H. Chairman, clause 5H, what's your final recommendation there?
Mr. Chairman, sir, we did look at this, for a long time. And at the beginning we said actions to be taken in consultation with other environmental agencies. But taking into consideration what has happened in the past, oil spills here and there, and looking at what we gained when we traveled outside the country to consult other people, the environmental area on this bill in other crimes are vested in particular organizations and not in the totality, but we should add in consultation with other relevant agencies. In consultation with other relevant agencies. Ensure strict implementation of environmental policies, laws, regulations, and standards as pertains to oil and gas petitions in consultation with other relevant agencies.
Chairman, we agreed Okay, sir.
Okay, I think there are just two issues here that we just want clarification on. Is either we put all the powers in the petroleum sector, or we ask the Petroleum Commission to consult with other environment agencies. I think it's one of the two. My only concern, which I was not, but my own experience being in environment is that, which I want you to clarify. There has been the argument that those who are in the oil and gas are always looking at the bottom line, profitability, while people in the environment are always looking at environmental issues. And if we reside environmental issues to an agency that is looking at profitability, do they sometimes not take full concern of environmental issues? And I think that's just the question. So I'll be guided by your thoughts, and that is why I'm asking which way, what should we do? Yeah, Senator Tazi, if you want to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We discussed this extensively in Uyo. Whether to domicile it within the NMPC, within the regulatory agency. We said no. It's always better when you have somebody from outside looking inside. The Ministry of Environment should be allowed to look into this so that they can ensure that there is standard. That's what we agreed in Uyo.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Hope Uzodinma, representing the people of Imo West. Mr. President, I think I want to align with the position of the last speaker, because apart from that, the technical know-how and capacity is not with DPR. The Ministry of Environment are properly positioned and enabled by law to handle environmental matters and consistent with the New World Order, climate change. Thank you.
Senator Magnus Abe.
Mr. Chairman, I think our recent experiences in this country should make us to be very wary of anything that has to do with the environment. We all know the situation of the Niger Delta as a result of the lack of regulation in the oil industry. If we leave this matter in the hands of the oil industry, we may end up with a situation where we will spend our time fighting over issues that we should not be concerned with at this point in our development. So I will align myself with those who have suggested that environmental issues should take precedence over the bottom line so that our people are safe while we make money. Thank you, sir.
What's the question?
So we're saying that it should be in consultation as already earlier proposed. Yes? So in consultation with the Ministry of Environment, ensure strict implementation of environmental policies, laws, regulations as pertains to oil, gas and operations. Yes? Yes, all right then. So I'll put the question then. Those in favor of... No, not as amended. Yeah, I'll put it as amended, then we'll roll against them. Those in favor that clause 5H should be retained as proposed, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5I, those in favor that 5I stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6(1). Clause 6(1)A, B, and C. Those in favor that clause 6(1)A, B, and C stands part of the bills, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6(1)D, again will be the same reference. So we do the same as in case of 5H. Those in favor that clause 5(1)D.
The amendment says in consultation with the Ministry of Environment or any other agency in charge of environmental issues. The first one is not as full as that, so we retain the amendment.
Commended. Sounds part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6(1)F, 6(1)G, 6(1)H, 6(1)I, 6(1)J, 6(1)K, 6(1)L, 6(1)M, 6(1)N, 6(1)O,
6O. Those in favor that those stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 61P. Those in favor that 61P stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 61Q, 61R, 61S. Those in favor that stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 61T on page 26. 61T on page 26. Those in favor that 61T stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 61U stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 61V. Yes, Senator Lidan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 61V. Since the remarks on the remarks column is that the amendment is to ensure that the allocation is done in a non-discriminatory manner to ensure transparency. Why don't we allocate petroleum production quotas in a non-discriminatory, fair and transparent manner? Since the intention is to show transparency. That is you. Non-discriminatory is one thing, fair and transparency is another. So why don't you add fair and transparent manner in addition to non-discriminatory? Yes. You may not be necessarily be fair. Thank you, sir.
Any seconder to that? Yes. Colleague, those in favor that 1V stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 1W, 1X, 1Z. XYZ stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 1BB, 1CC, 1DD, 1EE, 1FF, 1GG, 1HH, 1II, 1JJ stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 1 Senator Gamadi.
Barnabas Gamadi, Benue Northeast. Mr. Chairman, the numbering is not a substantive amendment, but the numbering in this clause as a whole has a bit of problem which Secretariat needs to note. I take you back to page 25. The import of P becoming part of O, as addressed here, means that the next clause should now be P. But that has not happened. And if you go forward, you will see that same thing happening when T becomes S. That means that some of these sub-clauses are grouped together into one. And so the lettering should now take the next letter. Otherwise, this will be a B where sub-clauses will be missing. Like O will no longer be, P will no longer be there on page 25. And on page 26, T will no longer be there. because they don't take care of that. So I think Secretary can do that.
So, because from 25, I think that the way they're writing the O there really should be P. Yeah? So,
The import of this is that O, as is retained there, plus this substance, this sub-clause put here as O, becomes part of it as a continuous section O. So that means that Q, J, and so on should now move to the next letter. That's what actually has been done. Page 25, Mr. Chairman. 25.
Yeah.
In the computer, everybody knows that once you set the paging, the numbering, when you make changes, it will automatically also change the numbering and the figures you put there. So everything here had been properly laid, and by the time the real bill comes out, there will be no mix-up in the numbering or any of the clauses, sir. Because I also
this P now that is now reading O, is that P or O in that case? Okay. Yes, Magnus, Senbabi.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit concerned about the nature of the drafting, the elegance of what we are doing here. If you look at section 6, sir, we have dealt with 61A to Z, and then we are now 61AABB. Why don't we just do 62? Instead of going 61A to Z, then 61AABBCC, I think it's a bit inelegant, sir. We can just simply shift to the next letter and start again. That's what I want to suggest.
Chairman, instead of us going from 6AA to 6ZZ, can that just be 62? Yeah? I think that makes more sense. Yes? Yeah, so 62A. Yeah, down the line. Secretary can take note of that. Yes? Yeah, 62 now becomes 63. Okay, so let me first just take as it is here. 61AA to 61ZZ should now be amended to take down from 61A to 61Z to 6Z. Yeah? Okay then. So those in favor that should be amended as 61A to 61Z should now read 62A to 62Z. Those in favor that stands part of this say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. 63 now, which is the previous 62, which is on page 31. Those in favor that 62, 64, and 65 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. 66 now, which is the formerly 65. on page 33. Chairman, what are you recommending now in view of the last discussion for 6.5? Following what we discussed. Sir.
Is this 6A? Well, okay, 6.5. Responsibility for environmental matters in petroleum industry. The Commission shall have responsibility over all aspects of health, safety, and environmental matters in respect of the petroleum industry. Yes. That's okay, sir. This is not environmental, sir. This one is talking about health, safety. Okay. And it is for the petroleum industry itself. Specifically, because the Ministry of Environment captures all environmental matters in the country, but for the petroleum industry, we believe that it is this commission that should be responsible for it.
Can somebody?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the bill is conscious of the fact that the Ministry of Environment has a representative in the board of the Commission.
Yes.
So that representative will bring to the board, the attention of the board, in consultation with other strategic environmental regulators, issues that relate to the environment. That's what the bill does. The Ministry of Environment is fully represented in the board of the Commission.
We do it the same way we did the other ones. That is to say that the commission shall have responsibility for all matters of health and safety, and then for environmental matters should consult with the Ministry of Environment and his agencies. So can basically you move that amendment so we can second it?
Mr. Chairman, I wish to move that (6)(a) be amended to reflect that the Commission shall have
environmental matters.
I'm coming. Let me take. Okay.
Page 33.
33. Yeah.
The first responder cannot be the Ministry of Environment.
No.
I wish to move that 6.5A. Please.
Can I have? Okay. I wish to move that 6.6A, the new 6.6A, should read that the Commission shall have responsibility over all aspects of health and safety matters, but for environment, in consultation with Ministry of Environment and other environmental agencies.
Seconded. Mr. Chairman, if I'm not taking you back, I want to query why this is necessary. Because having responsibility is doing, is not supervising. The Ministry of Environment's own responsibility is to supervise the body that should ensure that certain things don't happen. So this particular aspect is within the petroleum industry itself. And when you say that the Commission shall have responsibility over aspects of health, safety, and environmental matters, that is in the doing. The Minister of Environment will not come and do it. They only come and supervise it. So this particular issue should be left as it is.
With due respect, distinguished colleagues and the President, with what Senator Bassi Akpan has done, the aspect of environment and its responsibility has been removed and vested in the Ministry of Environment and its agencies. And so it is the Ministry of Environment that, in compliance with the earlier amendment on environment, it is the Ministry of Environment that shall be responsible for environmental matters. That is what he has amended. That's what he said.
In consultation, in consultation.
I have stated yes, I have stated earlier, sir, that the Ministry of Environment, is a statutory member of the Commission itself. Therefore, the member of the Ministry of Environment, who is a member of that commission, will definitely collaborate the intentions, the policies of the Ministry of Environment and its related agencies to the commission. So it doesn't really change anything, sir. That's why he's there. That's why he's there.
You are still proposing your amendment, is it? So who seconded the amendment so we can make progress? Yes, Senator Samayon.
Senator Samayon, Imo East. I rise to second the amendment made by Senator Abraham Bassi. I shall second.
The Commission shall have responsibility for all aspects of health and safety, but for environmental matters in consultation with the Ministry of Environment and its agencies. We should just leave what is there. All right, those in favor that 6A should stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 6B, 66B. Those in favor that, which was 6? Yeah, Senator Baribe.
Aina Baribe, Abia South. If you look at what we have done from 6A and where 6B is now deleted, you will see the problems have resurfaced, except if we bring back 6B. If you bring back 6B, then that will be in conformity with what we have passed in 6A.
I don't understand.
6B says, notwithstanding the provisions of any other law, no government agency has any powers, functions in relation to the production in conflict with the powers and functions of the Commission. Page 33B, 6B, which we have deleted.
Which one are you?
34. It's page 34. It's 34, not 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, my concern is that we should not just create litigation with the laws as we make them here. What I'm saying that, sir, is that what we have done now leaves a big gap in the present system, because we have existing legislation
that not repealed.
That is not repealed, and then we are now giving absolute responsibility for environmental issues to the oil industry. Now, if there is a spill,
Who comes? Anybody can go and say there's a spill here, clean it up. But who has the final authority to now say, okay, this place is now clean and this is okay under this law that we have passed?
Exactly.
So if it's environment, then our wording should not give the impression that environment no longer has that power if the spill is from petroleum. It will create confusion and it will create litigation. Do you understand what I'm saying? I understand you, but sorry, Mr. Chairman, let me. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir. Since we have a new chairman now, let me repeat the question I was asking, sir. What I'm saying, sir, is that already we have existing laws dealing with the environment. Let us even be very clear. For example, I'm from Ogoni. We have the Ogoni cleanup that is going on with the Ministry of Environment. It was a spill that was created from petroleum. Now, environment is in charge trying to clean it up. What I'm saying is, with this amendment that we're making now, if there is a spill tomorrow, somebody comes and says there's a spill, you clean it up. Who will have the final power to go to that place, look at the land and say, okay, this has now been fully restored. This place is now clean. This problem is over. Who will have that power under this thing that we're doing now? Yes, but what we are doing now doesn't give that impression. We take out environment with what we have done. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think our colleagues need to know a little more about this. What we are talking on this is governance, and the whole essence of this commission is we want to create a one-stop regulatory commission where everything about petroleum industry can be attended to. So environmental issues are being taken care even from the board. There is environment in the board of this commission. So everything, yes. No, I'm telling you, that is what we are saying. Now there is a member of the environment in the commission itself. And no.
Mr. Chairman, sir, listening to Senator Magnus carefully, if there is a spill, for example, the oil industry must take responsibility first before environment. And that is the more reason, if we are not adopting the amendment made by BAS, then we should not delete B. Because the two entities must come together to solve the problem. Because if we leave it only for Ministry of Environment, we are not solving the problem. So it's either we include B by not deleting it, or we accept the amendment made by BAS. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Distinguished colleagues, even if we take the amendment of 66A, I believe that for us to be able to also ensure proper regulation, we must include B and C. So we can leave 66A as said and include B and C in order for us to proceed. All right. So let me put the question then. Those in favor that clause B, 6B and C be retained, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause D as well be retained, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 7. Those in favor that clause 7
A to F stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 7G, I'm now on page 36, or the new 8G. Those in favor that 8G stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 8H to J stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 9, which is the old clause 8. Those in favor of clause 9.1 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 9.2, 9.3, 9.4. 9.5, 9.6, 9.7 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 10, which is the former clause 9, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 11 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 12 that's the old 11, now clause 12. The new 12 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor, the same colleague, let me just, I think so that people don't get confused, I'll still be reading them as the old number. I think it's easier for people to, for we know it's a new number, okay. Right. Those in favor that clause 12 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 13, clause 13.1 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. Clause 13.2, I'm sure. Oh, your 13.1 is your observation. Yeah, go ahead.
Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, if you look at clause 13.1, they said there shall be established the commission, a governing board, which shall be responsible for the policy, the word policy, and general administration. The policy, I think the minister is responsible for the policy, while the board is responsible for implementation of the policy. Is that not what it is? Who does the policy?
Chairman, yeah, go ahead.
We have said that this commission should be independent. And if the minister has to be the one formulating policies, then the independence will have been removed.
Okay. Clause 13.2a, B, C, D, E, F. G. Clause 13.2a to G. Those in favor of clause 13.2a to G stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13.3. Those in favor of clause 13.3 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13.4. 13.4. 13.5. Those in favor of clause 13.4 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13.5. Yes, Senator Dan.
13.5, sir, concerning the qualification of the commissioners at page 44. It says a person shall not be appointed as a commissioner unless he has graduated from a tertiary institution and possesses a university degree, which appears to me to exclude HND graduates. Supposing somebody is a HND graduate and he has done postgraduate in petroleum studies,
Is he disqualified? So I think no, it says tertiary and university degree. Or we can say university degree or equivalent.
Calling that amendment. Yes, Senator Zima.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hope Uzodinma, Imo West. I rise to second the amendment ably made by my distinguished senator. I so second.
Clause 13.5 as amended stands part of the bill. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 13.6, 7 stands part of the bill. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13.8. Those in favor that clause 13A stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13.9 and clause 13.10 and clause 13.11. Those in favor that this stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 14. That clause 14, 15, and 16 stands part of the bill. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 17. Yes.
Observe. In clause 15, we are saying that the minister may issue general policy directions and all that. And then we are trying to, at the same time, make sure that the board is independent and oversees these things of the activities of the commission. Now, where the minister is saying something and the board is saying something different, where will the commission go then? That's the act. But the things that the policies are not stated in the act. Where the minister is going in a different direction and the board is going in a different direction, who is the commission now to follow?
Clause 16. Sorry, clause 17. Clause 17. Clause 17. Clause 17, 1A, B, C, D, E. Clause 17.2. Clause 17.3. And 17.4. Those in favor that clause 17 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 18. Clause 18. Those in favor that clause 18 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 19. Chairman, on clause 19, did you agree? Is there going to be a deadline, timeline? or that is just left open. A vacancy of the board shall be filled by Mr. President. That's fine. Okay, thank you. Those in favor of clause 19 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 20, 21, those in favor of clause 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 21, 1, 2, and 3 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 21, 4. Those in favor of clause 21, 4 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 22, 23, 24, 25. Those in favor of clause 23, 24, 25 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 26. Okay, let's take 26. Clause 26, 1, 2. Clause 26, 1. Those in favor of clause 26, 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 26, 2A. 2A. Which fund? I don't understand what you...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just curious about the commission shall establish and maintain a fund. And I'm trying to know, is there no name attached to this fund and just fund? Okay, through appropriation. Okay.
Okay, those in favor of clause 26(2) stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Yes. Yeah, okay. Once the deleted ones are removed, it will flow, but Secretary will just take note of it. Okay. 26(3). Chairman, explain this one to us. 26(3). Chairman, can you please explain this 26(3)?
The Commission shall apply the proceeds of the fund established pursuant to Section 1 of this section. Which one?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Such monies which shall be 10% of the revenue generated by the Commission for the Government of the Federation as may be determined and appropriated to the Commission by the National Assembly. So what we said initially was that appropriation will take care of salaries, and that for the organization to run properly, independently, with all the other organizations that run concurrently now, being put together in one-stop shop, that they should be entitled to cost of collection of 10%, to run the organization. Of the fines and all the others that had been stated earlier on. If you go back, you will see the areas that they should make money.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleague, I observed that while the chairman was trying to make his submission that the salaries be taken off through the federal budgets, but we don't know the quantum of money that will be realized by this commission. And with the current problem we have with all the revenue generating agencies, where the total budget of these agencies is about 13 trillion, and the federal government still pays salary, overhead, and capital from the same 7-point-something trillion naira budget of the federal government. I am of the opinion that since this commission is going to generate its fund, both the salaries, the overhead, and everything be taken care by its commission, the void of the federal budget. And I think it will be right step in the right direction, since we have agreed that they can set up a fund, so all revenue generated by these agencies should be to defray all their expenditure as listed in the Act.
Yes, Senator Marafa, you want to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President, my colleagues. We looked at these provisions and the arguments, especially as prepared by my distinguished friend, Yai. And we looked at the bodies we are collapsing to form this commission now. And we looked at what they are collecting. As it is today, DPR is the only body that is collecting anything of any significance. And largely what they are collecting is not much, because they don't collect PPT, that is Petroleum Profit Tax, which forms bulk of the revenue generation to the country. And that is why FIRS collects a lot more than DPR. So this 10% we are talking about is not so significant enough that they can pay these salaries and everything. So we wanted to guarantee their salary so that other aspects can be provided for. Now, all other bodies that we are collapsing might end up just coming with liabilities. They don't generate anything. So that is just the fear. And if we say they are independent and we leave them with only 10% and the 10% cannot pay their salaries, then we will run into problems. So this is what we considered and proposed this. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, just a second, Chairman. Just a second. Let Chairman, you want to add more information to what he said?
In the budget that we have just passed down, a lot of misconception came up that DPR was collecting trillions of naira. It's not true. Very, very untrue. I don't think that there is any month that DPR collected more than 2 billion naira. And their salary alone for this current year is 32 billion. Yes, DPR alone, 32 billion. So, yes, so sir, we have looked at everything, and like Senator Marafa said, there are other organizations that are now being merged to form this commission, that earn little or nothing. And because they are not going to be able to generate enough funds, that is why we said take care of their salary, and whatever they now generate, they can take 10% of it.
Okay, information.
Yeah. Your Excellency, I think we also looked at it from the standpoint of the fact that in the last 5 years, prior to 2016, most of the revenue generated by DPR was through royalties. And of course, royalties is a function of the price of oil. In 2016, what they generated was only about 450 billion, for example. And prior to that, it was about 1 trillion. So if you allow cost of collection to fund a one-stop shop, incorporating PPRA and the rest of the things that are coming into DPR, it will grossly be inadequate. Yes, sir.
Yes, because we look at 7% of that.
Distinguished colleagues. Yes, Senator Danny.
I think, Mr. Chairman, this is not very clear. If you look at the provision of 26, it appears to list several income that is available to the Commission. One, 26.1.2a, such monies which shall be a percentage of revenue generated by the Commission. And then 2, fees. Deleted. Yes, okay. B, fees charged for services rendered. Then is this one part of the, from which the 10% is derived under paragraph 3, or is it different? If it is additional to the one in paragraph 3, then we need clarification.
Two, because of the amendment that was made, had technically been deleted. So both A and B there are no more operational. No, because it has been amended. It has been amended.
Those in favor of 23 stands part to bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 26.4 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 26.5. Those in favor of 26.5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor 27. Those in favor that clause 27 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 28 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 29. Those in favor of clause 29 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 30 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 31 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 32. Those in favor of clause 32 and 33 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 34 and 35 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 36, page 67. Clause 36. Clause 36. Clause 30. Chairman, can you brief your members on Clause 36?
Sir, Clause 36 is on the establishment of the Petroleum Equalization Fund. Because of the importance of this to Nigerians, especially ensuring that the pump price of petroleum products do not vary from region to region and from state to state. It is very, very important as at the moment because PMS in particular has not been deregulated. So if there is no fund, to ensure that those who transport these products to faraway places, to Sokoto, to Gashua, to the eastern part of the country. So yes, so that's why this one is very important. Yes. And also, sir, we have made provision for a fund to be created for ensuring that when pipelines are broken, there is a fund from where money can be taken to repair it quickly. Where we have any problems about the petroleum industry, we will have enough fund to take care of them. Especially, sir, we have a very large deposit of gas in this country, but we don't have gas to use domestically. We need to create a fund that will ensure that we have enough money to start, processing our gas resources in such a way that Nigerians will have gas to power electricity and to use at home. So these are part of the things that PF will take care of.
Page 67, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The reason for making laws is to be sure that everybody is taken care of in this country and there is efficiencies. I just want the chairman to clarify further in this bill, because I've been looking at where there is anything called gas in the bill. There is none in the equalization fund. The reason why I'm saying this is that the equalization fund has now translated to only supporting those who own tanker for moving products. It should be beyond that and should go to help all those who also use barges, all those who use vessels and so on and so forth. So we need to know inside here. But if you live in Bayelsa and they have to move petroleum products away from to a floating station, how do you capture it? I just want to be sure that it's captured here. So the chairman, please explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to assure Mr. Abadibe that petroleum equalization is not only about tanker driver. It covers the riverine areas and everything. Even in the mega stations we are building, we have floating mega stations. No, it is all encompassing. The template that comes, yes, the template which provides their funding has taken care of that. Yes, it's taken care of.
Floating tankers. They are
Senator Tazi, you wanted to clarify that?
Yes, Mr. Baribe, distinguished. The
the Petroleum Equalization Fund Management Board takes care of everybody that is in the downstream, that takes petroleum product from one point to another destination. Is covered for everybody. We are not. What we are doing here is not about the Petroleum Equalization Fund, because it's a law exists on its own. What we are doing here is a regulatory body that takes care of everything that are going on to this issue. So you are pleased this is taken care of.
This issue should approve. Those in favor that 36(1) A, B, C, D, E to E stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 36(2) and 3 stands part of the bill. I'll come back to you. That stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 36(4) and 5 and 6 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 37 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 38 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 39 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 40 and 41 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 42. Those in favor of clause 42 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 43. 43. Yes, Senators Jibril.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Barrow Jibrin. I have a problem with 43H. 2 persons to be appointed by the President who shall possess a minimum of 15 years relevant professional qualification, professional experience. I think we need to add in the oil industry, because you said professional experience. Where? It's not stated. In the oil industry. Why? In the oil industry. Why?
What professional?
Yeah. So I can repeat it again. Wait.
When you say
professional experience of which shall be a senior management level. So I want it to be professional experience of in the oil industry of which experience. Where? Is it in the medical industry? Is it in the banking industry? Where? In the oil industry, sir.
Professional. Let me explain, sir. In an organization like this, sir, you will have the people who should take care of the accounts. To reconcile what is between one oil company and the fund. You will have lawyers. You will have, so it is professional experience, not necessarily to be in the oil industry.
Those
in the first place, 43(1) gives the power to appoint the chairman to the minister. Is supposed to be minister there, and then 43H gives the power of appointment to the president. I think we should be consistent here. It's either we give the power of appointment to the minister or we give it to the president. Whereas the minister here appoints the chairman, then the other professional persons are appointed by the president, which to me is not very tidy.
Chairman, there seems to be an error. Page 74, 2A. You say the chairman shall be appointed by the minister. Who shall be appointed by the ministry? So you said the ministry. Shouldn't that be the president? All right, can we have a second amendment to that? Of equalization fund. What are you coming? Can we have someone to second? Can somebody second Senator Lidani that 2A should now read chairman shall be appointed by the president? Second that. Yes, Senator Gobri.
It's too long. It's too long.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Ibrahim Gwebe, representing Sokoto East. I second Lidani's suggestion that the chairman shall be appointed by the president, not the ministry. Thank you.
Those in favor of clause 43, 2A, as amended, stands part to bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 43A, 2B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, stands part of bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 43, 3, 4, and 5, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 44, and 45, and 46, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 47, 48, and 49 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 50. Clause 50, 51, 52, and 53. Those in favor that clause 51, 52, 53 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 54 and 55. Those in favor that 54 and 55 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 56, 57, and 58 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 59, 60, and 61 stands part of the bill, say aye. Clause 59 and 60 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 51. Yes, Senator Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We gave the powers to this fund to sue in paragraph 3, but we didn't give the legal status to this fund. We should have said that fund is a body corporate with power to sue and be sued, but we just allow them here to be empowered to sue. No suit shall be commenced against the equalization fund, which means the fund can be sued, but we have not conferred legal status on the fund itself, that the fund shall be a body corporate with power to sue and be sued in its corporate name. So which gives it a legal status. The board can now sue and it can also be sued. But here it can only be sued, it cannot sue. Page 90, 91. 91, you can sue the fund, but you have not given the power of the board to sue. 91. So I think what we need to add is we should have given the powers, the legal status to the fund much earlier in the maybe establishment of the fund. If we could add at page 67, which shall be a body corporate with power to sue and be sued. Page 67, 1. There shall be. If you can amend 61, sir. Page 67, 36. There shall be established a Petroleum Equalization Fund, into which fund shall be paid all monies payable to the Equalization Fund, or before then, which shall be a body corporate with power to sue and be sued in its corporate name. Yes. Establish a Petroleum Equalization Fund, which shall be a body corporate with power to sue and be sued. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, thank you.
So my observation, sorry, page 90, section 60, exemption from income tax. The provision of any enactment related to the taxation of companies or trust fund shall not apply to the equalization fund. That means we cannot tax it. It's not taxable. Why? We have to.
You don't tax a government establishment. It's not a limited liability company. No. It's like taxing the ministry or taxing whatever. No. You can't.
Distinguished question. Those in favor that clause 60 and 61 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 62, 63 and 64 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 65. Those in favor that clause 65 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 66, 66 and 67 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 68 and 69 and 70 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 71 and 72 and 73 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 74 and 75. Those in favor that clause 74 and 75 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Mohammed Hassan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to draw our attention to clause 26B.
26?
26B, page 58.
So we should go back?
Okay. Yes, please. No, it's just an addition. It says, such monies as may be determined and appropriated to the Commission from time to time by the National Assembly for its personnel cost. I would suggest we add the overheads to make it so that the Commission can run independently. So you cannot run an organization without the overhead.
No, the overhead is taken care of.
No, but it should be clearly spelled out. No. You are talking about appropriation.
No.
Okay.
10% of the overhead. All right, thank you. 101, page 101. We're now at clause 76, page 102. Those in favor that clause 76 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Page 103. We're now in clause 77. Clause 77. Clause 77. Those in favor of clause 77, 1, 2A and B stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 77, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 78. Those in favor of that clause 78 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 79. Those in favor of that clause 79 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 80. Those in favor of that clause 80 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 81. Page 108. Those in favor of clause 81 stands part of the bill. That 81, 1, 2, 3, and 4 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 81, 5 on page 110.
Those in favor that clause 81.5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor at 81.6 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 81.7. Those in favor of clause 81.7 and 8 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 82. Those in favor that clause 82 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 83. Clause 83. Those in favor that 83 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Nato, that correction there, 84 should be 84, not 88 there, please. Those in favor that clause 84 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 85. Those in favor that clause 85 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Page 116, clause 86. Those in favor that clause 86 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 87. Those in favor that clause 87 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 88. Yeah. Senator Barra Jubil.
Sir, 88 says not later than 6 months from the date of incorporation. I think 6 months is too long. Why not 3 months?
Not later than
6 months is too long.
It can be 3 months. It can happen anytime.
So that they can add, they can do it quickly. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
Those in favor of clause 88 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 89 and 90 and 91 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 92. Where's 93? So what? Those in favor that clause 92 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 93. Distinguished colleague, clause 93 is 119. That is exemption from stamp duty and other charges. Those in favor of clause 93 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 94 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 95 on page 122. Composition and appointment of the board. Senator Otazi.
We have made a proposition and asked us a question. Should we consider making this 15 years? And my answer is in the affirmation, yes. Not 10 years for MD, please. That's 95B. B. You know, 15 years. We need somebody who has to be MD, an experienced person. 15 years is in order, not 10 years. 15 years. 15 years. Experience on that job, cognate experience.
No.
Distinguished colleagues, I'll put a question. Those in favor that 95D stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 95E stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of 95.3 and 4 and 5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 96. There's no confusion.
Yes. Coconut experience of 20 years for an executive director than somebody with 10 years.
10 years at senior management level.
No. This
Distinguished colleagues, Clause 96. Clause 96. Those in favor that Clause 96 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Clause 97 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Clause 98 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 99 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 100. Those in favor of Clause 100 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 101. Those in favor of Clause 101 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 102 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 103. Clause 103 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 104. 104, 105. Those in favor of Clause 104, 105 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of that Clause 106. 106. Those in favor of Clause 106, 1, 2, and 3 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 107. Those in favor of Clause 107 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 108 on page 133. 108. Those in favor of Clause 108 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 109. Page 109 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 110. Those in favor of Clause 110 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 111 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 112 on page 137. Those in favor that 112 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 113 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Clause 114 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 115 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 116. 116. Those in favor of Clause 116 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Clause 117 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 118. 118 on page 140. Clause 118. Those in favor of Clause 118 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 119. Clause 119. Yes, Senator Daniel.
I would recommend that the years of experience should be 15 years instead of 10 years because the other organizations have 10 years experience. But this one is a bigger institution. This one is a bigger institution. The NNPC is a bigger institution, and I think it should have somebody who has sufficient cognate experience. So 15 years instead of 10 years. 15 years.
Any seconder to this? Yes, Senator Gumel.
Mr. President, I second the amendment moved by Senator Delaney. To 15 years.
Distinguished colleagues, on page 142, those in favor that page 142, that is 119B, we should change that to 15 years. Senator Foster Ogada.
Mr. Chairman, we are talking of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation. Nigeria Petroleum Corporation. So it is a principal organ of the petroleum industry, and we need that position to be manned by experienced officer. And that's why we are changing it to 15. And Mr. Chairman, sir. That's why it is 15.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman.
10 is not okay. He will be coming to preside over people who have 30 years.
Address the chair.
Mr. Chair, sir, because this is a principal organ and a company that will be regulating every other thing, and we'll be dealing with other officers who are putting 30 years. You go and use a 10-year man to manage them, he cannot. And so it should be 15.
Chairman.
I so move.
Chairman.
Logical information. Which logical? Which logical?
Your mic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just by way of comfort to my colleague Victor Ogola and maybe the likes of him that share his opinion. What it says is at least 10 years experience in a senior management position. Now that management position, for you to rise, for you to rise from the entry point to management position, you need at least 10 or 15 years. To become a manager, then you need another 10 years as a manager. So if you make it 15, then it's not going to work. Yes.
Distinguished colleagues, let me put the questions. Those, please, quiet, please. Let me put the question. Those in favor that clause 119B, 119(2)B should stand as part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 119(2)C, 2D, E stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 1193 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that 1194, 5, 6 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 120. Those in favor that clause 120 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 121 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 122 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 123. In favor that clause 123 stands part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 124 stands part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 125 stands part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 126. Those in favor that clause 126 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 127. Those in favor that 127 should read instead of 126. Adoption of laws should be 127. Those in favor that clause 127 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 128. Those in favor that clause 128. Look at 128. Please look at 128. Those in favor that clause 128 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 129. Those in favor that clause 129 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 130. Yeah, that's the numbering. Yeah. Clause 130. Those in favor that clause 130 on page 154 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 131 on page 155, cessation of employment. Huh? It's now 131 because there was an error on page 151 adoption of laws. Yeah. We have 1 moment before point of order. Those in favor that clause 131 on page 155 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 132 on page 156. Application of subsisting contracts. Okay, leader. Okay, leader. Just to be on the safe side, let's take your.
Chairman, I move that we suspend order 13 to enable us sit beyond 2 o'clock.
I second the motion as moved.
Thank you.
Those in favor that we suspend and rules and extend beyond 2 o'clock, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 132 on page 156. Yes, Senator Kerry.
Okay, sorry, sir. Yes, I've seen it. Is that small? Apology.
Clause 132. Those in favor that clause 132 stands part of the bill. Please look at 132. 132, 132.1a and 132.2. Those in favor of clause 132.1 and 132 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 133. 1333. Those in favor that clause 1333. That's page 157. Clause 133, 1334 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Page 1335 on page 158. Those in favor that 1335 on page 155 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 1336. Those in favor that clause 1336 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 133. 4. Is it? Huh? 1334, interpretation, yes? Interpretation. Those in favor that 1334 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Schedule 1 to 5. Schedule 1 to 5. Those in favor that schedules 1 to 5 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 181 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of a short title on page 167 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the long title on page 14 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Senator Otazi.
I am a member, Mr. Chairman, there is something very important about the Federation accounts and the consolidated revenue. Yes, I'm talking about page 60. Page 60. It touches about the Federation account and consolidated revenue. And it's very, very important for the duty of the National Assembly. If we read section 4, the Commission shall ensure that all monies accruing from upstream bonuses, lease, 60, the last paragraph there, last paragraph. 4, the Commission shall ensure that all monies accruing from the upstream leases, bonuses, lease renewal fees, assignment fees, and concession renters charged under this Act or any subsidiary legislation or regulation made pursuant to this Act are paid into the Federation account. The Commission shall also ensure that all other monies accruing from its activities, including but not limited to fines and penalties, are paid into the consolidated revenue. The stand we have taken here is that the monies that are accruing, and the earlier part of this paragraph, is going to be paid into the Federation account. And the one that should go into the consolidated revenue fund have been deleted. This is not in the interest of this country. This is not in the interest of this country. This is not in the interest of this body, the National Assembly that is here. So I'm saying that all other ones, if it does, it means it's going to be mismanaged. And it's very, very important to us that this money goes into the consolidated revenue fund of this body. I want this Senate to reason. To reason. Let's not rush into this issue. We are making this law that is going to last for all times. It's not for people who are here. I am asking us to look into this issue, please. Thank you so much.
Which page? Which page?
I'm saying what I want to say.
Which page?
If you want to do.
Which page? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What Senator Otazi, the clarification Senator Otazi is seeking for is what is the difference between Federation account and the consolidated account. That's the truth. And if you listen carefully from what you read, activities related to international community, which this commission will be engaging in, simply say that once it goes to Federation account, belongs to all the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But any other activities or any other sources aside those that are listed in this act, which belong to the federation account, goes into the consolidated revenue fund account. Very simple. And that simply means it relates to the federal government alone. That's it.
Leader of the Senate. Leader of the Senate. What? Let's take people who have been having things in there. Oh, yeah, just
no, I just want to make the law. It's perfect. I want it to be more perfect. Sir, it's page 59. 59. No, sorry, it's 50. It's clause 22, sorry.
Page what?
21.4.
Page
21.4.
Page
53. 53, sir. 21.4. No later than 3 months prior to the expiration of the tenure of the Chief Executive Commissioner or any of the Executive Commissioners, the President shall appoint or reappoint such Chief Executive Commissioner or Executive Commissioner in accordance with provision of Section 13. So I'm thinking that in order to not to create a situation where you have two appointees in one, because 3 months is very long, I suggest that after commissioner, it should be included here, provided that the person so appointed shall not assume duty until the expiration of the tenure of the incumbent appointee, so that you don't have two people on one position. Because you know Nigerians, once you appoint him, I say, okay, let me go to the office, and that will create a problem. In order to make everything clearer, this should be included. That you should not go to the office until the expiration of the incumbent appointee. Yeah. There is one office.
No. Thank you, Mr. President. I can understand the importance of this bill and hence your flexibility in allowing members to revisit issues. And I also recognize the contribution of my colleagues on this thing. But I think what Senator Barrow said does not necessarily pose any danger to this, because it said not later than 3 months prior to the expiration. And this man had 4 years, and to the expiration, so he is only appointed, and he is going to undergo, confirmation in the Senate, and so on and so forth. So it is going to be within that 3 months. So that man cannot take office until... No, he has to wait until that one expires. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Senate reverse to plenary for the chair to report progress.
I second the motion that the chair reverts back to plenary to report progress.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that we back to plenary to report progress say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Joint Committee on Petroleum Upstream, Petroleum Downstream and Gas on Petroleum Industry Governance Bill 2017 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 3 as recommended, clauses 4 to 6 as amended, clauses 7 to 12 as recommended, clause 13 as amended, clause 14 to 42 as recommended, clause 43 as amended, and clause 44 to 134 as recommended. Schedule 1 to 5 as recommended. Short title as recommended. Long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the committee? Leader of Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bill be now read a third time.
I second the motion that the bill be now read the third time.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Petroleum Industry and Governance Bill 2017 be now read the third time, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the governance and institutional framework for the petroleum industry and for other related matters 2017, third reading.
A bill for an act to provide for the governance and institutional framework for the petroleum industry and for other related matters 2017, third reading taken. The bill is now read and passed. Distinguished colleagues, let me thank you all, starting from the committee and all members that contributed to this landmark bill that we have passed today. This is a bill that has evaded for many years, not being able to pass, and we made a commitment at the beginning of this Senate that we will pass this bill. This is a bill, I believe, not only Nigerians, even our friends and investors in the petroleum sector have been waiting for us to put a framework that will ensure transparency, accountability, and create an enabling environment for the petroleum sector that will be necessary to further stimulate growth in this sector. We hope by what we have done today, again, we'll continue to show the kind of commitment and leadership and our contribution to the development of this country. I'm proud of what you have all done today. We gave this commitment that we'll pass this bill that has not been possible for many years, and we've done it. I hope with this bill, the oil and gas industry will begin to see the new kind of investment that is necessary. We'll plug all the loopholes, be able to reduce the areas of corruption, inefficiency. Our people will be able to benefit better in the petroleum sector, and that Nigerians will be better for it. I thank you all for what you have done today. Leader of the Senate. No, the other item, he has to stand down. He has to stand down.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, having put so much to achieve this feat, I move that we will step down all other items on the order paper till another legislative day.
I second that we stand down every other item on the order paper till another legislative day.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that we stand other items on the order paper to another legislative day, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, having done that, the Senate is hereby adjourned till Tuesday, the 30th of May, 2017 at 10 a.m. prompt.